So we have a little time, so there's some mics floating around. If anybody has any questions or comments, I'd love to hear from people.
Hi, thank you so much for your presentation, Sam.
I don't know where you are.
I'm over here. Yeah, I'm
'Kay.
here. Hi.
Hey, how you going? There you
I
go.
know. Thank you so much for your presentation, and the work that you're doing and that everybody's doing is so impressive. But what I want to know is, what are you going to do, or what discussions have been addressing the way over marketing of unhealthy foods and vegetables to children? Because the food industry gets a lot of profit, $500 million marketing unhealthy beverages to children.
Let's just get right into it, huh? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is California, right? This is obviously a serious issue. There has been a working group that has been working on coming up with guidelines for industry to adopt voluntarily on how we can limit marketing to kids in a way that the healthier options, the healthier items that most of these companies have are the ones that they're putting their marketing dollars behind. That's been proposed. There's requests for comment out, so I can't actually discuss the details of that that's just how the process works. But there's no question the First Lady's made clear, we've all made clear that we need to ensure that the marketing is pushing and supporting the healthier options for kids. And I think there's a real openness among industry to start making progress there. I think, where we end up is yet to be determined. But they have made some significant steps, but there's no question that we have a long way to go on this issue. So
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good morning. Terry Soares, Merced City School District in Central California.
How are you?
Good. Thank you for your presentation. In regards to the 7 USDA messages,
Yeah.
will there be information on the website about how school districts can promote those at a elementary or middle school or secondary level?
Yep, absolutely. So, it's been a big change at the USDA, and they're reworking all the different all the different tools that were there for the pyramid. They're readapting them for the plate, including the education curriculums and teaching tools for schools.
When will USDA begin to promote those messages quarterly?
Very soon. In fact, right now we're focusing on fill half your plate with fruits and vegetables as the first message. We're already working towards that, and the partners are already starting to amplify that message. They will release a calendar of how we're doing this soon, and work to reach out to key stakeholders across the country.
So if a district wants to participate,
Absolutely.
they need to just keep checking the website.
Keep checking the website, and I think I know the School Nutrition Association is working closely with the USDA on this.
Great.
So I'm sure that they will be, or at least I should probably say, I'm hopeful that they will be sending out materials and engaging all of their constituents to help support this effort.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This side. Hello.
I don't see you, but it's okay. I can hear you.
Margie, Friedman, San Jose State.
Oh, there you go. Hi, how are you?
Hi. There is not only an epidemic of obesity in this country, but we have the twin epidemic now of hunger and obesity. The IOM just came out with a report about this. Can the White House convene a conference on hunger and obesity? It's been decades since the last conference, and I think it's time to have a high-level conference on this issue.
Yeah. I certainly, we know very deeply the dual challenges around making sure that all kids have the food they need to be healthy, and that is equally an obesity and nutrition issue as it is in a hunger issue. And I think, to your suggestion, the conversation on this issue often happens in parallel and sometimes competing tracks, which I think is fundamentally misguided. I mean, these are issues that are deeply intertwined, and that a lot of the solutions, if we work towards ensuring that all kids have the food that they need to be healthy, we can make huge strides in both hunger and obesity. I take your suggestion seriously. I will take it back to the White House. I cannot promise you a giant White House conference necessarily, but these are both issues that the President and First Lady care deeply about, and so we will continue to stay engaged on that.
Hello, I don't know whose turn is next, but I'm over here. My
Okay.
name is Irene Pena. I'm from Los Angeles.
Oh, there you go, all the way
And
back there.
Hi.
Hey.
And I'm from the community of Boyle Heights with an organization called Proyecto Jardín. I wonder if you would speak a little bit about your the initial encounter that you faced before you put in your garden with the quality of the soil. I've read a couple of articles, and that has been what we read in the paper about what you did sort of helped guide us a little bit, because we found the same challenges. Food,
Yep.
Obesity, hunger, remind us about food justice as well as environmental justice. So could you say a few words about your strategies?
Yeah, absolutely. Issues with soil, particularly in urban settings, are serious ones. Now, I should caution you, don't always believe what you read in the papers. A lot of what was ginned up around our soil in the garden was actually not true, and some with certain agendas were trying to use that to get their messages out. We luckily in the White House had very healthy soil, needed some amending, but by and large, to be really honest, was in much better shape than I had anticipated. But I think what was very important to make sure we got out was that if you are going to plant a garden in an urban setting, any setting, but particularly urban, that you have to test the soil, because you have no idea what came before you and what the shape of the soil is and what heavy metals or other materials could be in your soil. So making sure that we got that out was really important, and finding ways to remedy and bring greater vitality to the soil was something that was a first priority. And I think gardens are really empowering. They are empowering for a community, and taking the time, and showing that model and that example, that people can start taking more ownership of what they're eating and how it's being grown, and help feed each other is a basis of a connection between people in a community that is really strong. And we've seen it, and I'm sure you guys have seen it all over the country, the role that these things can play as a real tool of empowerment. So there's always some challenges to anything that's worthwhile, but I think we were able to overcome them, and they're being overcome across the country.
Hi.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi, I'm Dr. Chris Boynton, and I'm with Project EAT, which is at the Alameda County Office of Education. We do a lot of garden-based nutrition education with students. Due to the largesse of the Public Health Department and the Network for a Healthy California, my question is, we talk about HIAP, we talk about health in every policy. What about education? Arnie Duncan, they disbanded the Office of Safe and Drug-Free Schools last week, which is the largest funding for health education at the federal level. And my concern is that we have this amazing idea about using all of these different agencies, and I'm wondering what's going to happen with education. Where are we going with that? Because primary health education is losing a lot of funding, and I'm wondering if you have any ideas about that.
Well, I would say a few things. One is that education and educators when I was saying we need to broaden our network of people who are key stakeholders in this effort, teachers and educators are the first people that come to my mind. We are living in really tough times right now. We're having to make very tough sacrifices across the board. There is not a part that is not susceptible to the realities of our economic situation. The details of that I'm not versed in, but I can take those concerns back. The Department of Education has been at the table in this effort and on the Child Obesity Task Force that has helped come up with the report that really guides a lot of our work since day one. And it's something that they care deeply about. We have worked very hard in the Healthy Hunger Free Kids Act and upcoming legislation to make sure there is funding for nutrition education throughout the government nutrition programs. But no question, this is a key area that is of great concern. So, forgive me for not being able to dive into the details of that program, but I can certainly take that back.
Thank you.
And ask. Thank you.